Joining me now is Guy Benson, Fox News contributor and host of The Guy Benson Show. Guy, this is one of the biggest foreign policy debacles in my lifetime. The president was mum about it. He was in secure quarters for the weekend, didn't say a word, comes out, gives a little talk about what happened, and then does not take one question from the press. Your thoughts?
I can't say I'm surprised, David, that they didn't have him take questions, because questions would have posed a huge problem for him. We watched over the weekend as Secretary Blinken, the Secretary of State, went on multiple shows and tried to explain away what we're seeing and deflect blame and try to paint a picture that is really at odds with what Americans are seeing with their own eyes. And I think the administration and the comms team and the chief of staff may have watched that brutal stretch of interviews from the Secretary of State and said, gosh, if the press actually asks questions of the president about not what he wants to talk about, why do we decide to withdraw? It's like he was relitigating the decision that he made in the spring, as opposed to addressing the fiasco, the bloodshed, the disgrace that's playing out now. Why is it happening this way? How could this have been done so ineptly? Those would have been the questions, focusing on the real problem, and they didn't want the president to have to deal with those questions, and therefore he turned on his heel and walked right out the door.
But Guy, it's happened so often where what they are forced to do is try to counter what people are seeing with their own eyes. At the border, they say the border is closed. It's obviously open. We have the video to prove it. Inflation, they claim that it's cheaper to buy barbecue stuff now than it was a year ago. Obviously not true. Americans know it's not true. It's happened so often with this administration.
And he campaigned, Biden did, as the credibility restoring candidate, right? We're going to tell you the truth. We're not going to blame other people. Well, this was, I think, a very disingenuous speech filled with nothing, almost nothing but blame for other people. And I think the American voter watches all of this. And when you see the administration detached from reality, verifiable reality over and over again, that starts to take a toll. And I think really striking in this conversation, David, is the rhetoric not from last year, not from last decade, but sound bites from the Secretary of State and the President of the United States himself from a few weeks ago.
I know.
Right? Things that they were saying in July about what would and would not happen in this withdrawal.
Yeah.
Those things have been proven in real time to have been absolutely wrong predictions, and they can't hide from it. Even if they prevent the president from taking any questions on day one,
I don't want to,
ultimately they have to answer for their words.
I don't want to give them any credit at all. They don't deserve it. But the mainstream media now says that Biden can't avoid blame for what's gone on. Guy Benson, we got to leave it there. We'll be right back. More Kudlow right after this.